Welcome to Academic Challenge. I'm Ray Gustafson, your host and moderator. Today we are featuring teams from Berrien Springs and Countryside. WSJM's Academic Challenge features scholastic competition involving high schools from around southwest Michigan. Academic Challenge is sponsored by Berrien Springs Public Schools, Lake Michigan College, and Lakeshore Public Schools. Let's meet the teams. First, from Berrien Springs, let's say your name and what grade you're in, and should we do shoe size tonight, Bill?
No, we don't need that.
Nope. All right.
I'm Joseph Johnson. I am a freshman, and I have size 14 feet.
My name
Visions
is
of grandeur.
Callie Staub. I'm grade 11.
Brady West, junior, size 13.
Matthew Reeves, I'm a senior.
Good. And we'll move over to Countryside. We'll start with you.
Aisha Camera, junior.
Caleb Feener, senior, and size 13 as well.
Asher Feener, sophomore. I'd prefer to be called Mr. Feener, though.
That's good,
Well,
Mr. Feener.
Welcome to the Academic Challenge. I'm Ray Gustafson. I'm only a size 9. I don't know what for a shoe size. I don't know what you wear, Bill, but
12.
size 12. I feel small. All right, here are the basic rules. During the first and second halves, we'll announce the value of each question before it's asked. When you press your button, please wait for me to recognize you before you answer the question. There's no consultation allowed during the first and second halves. There is during the 60-second round, which I will explain in a little while. Again, I'm Ray Gustafson, your scorekeeper and judge. And today, Bill Klein will be asking the questions. How you doing, Bill?
Very good.
Is everybody ready? All right, you'll have 2 minutes. I'm sorry, 2 minutes. You'll have 10 seconds to answer the question. If you answer incorrectly, the other team will then have 5 seconds to answer and try to steal the points away from you. There are no, we do not deduct points if you answer incorrectly, so it is worth buzzing in and trying to answer anyway, even if you taken a quick guess at it, just to see how close you are. We've had a few people that have answered correctly just by taking a quick guess at it, so it doesn't hurt to just take a guess at anything.
First instinct is always the best.
Exactly. So, with that in mind, we will begin the first half of the Academic Challenge, and the timer will begin as soon as Bill asks that first question.
For 5 points. One day, the prophet Samuel came to a small Judean town, anointed a young sheep herder, and left. The town was Bethlehem. Who was the boy?
Callie from Berrien Springs.
David.
That is correct for 5 points. For 15 points. In 1967, Assistant Secretary of Defense John T. McNaughton led a secret task force of 36 analysts who wrote a report that was officially designated as Top Secret Sensitive, a designation which meant it would be embarrassing to the government. 4 years later, Daniel Ellsberg leaked that report to the New York Times. By what name do we know this report, officially titled United States-Vietnam Relations, 1945 to 1967? It was the Pentagon Papers.
I think that was the longest question in history.
It was a question that should never be answered again. This is a math question for 20 points. An outboard motor can drive a boat at 7 miles per hour in still water. It takes the boat 10 minutes longer to reach camp, 4 miles upstream, than to return. What is the rate of the current? A little extra time for math questions. Mm-hmm. 1 mile per hour. And how you figure that, I have no idea.
Was anybody close?
I was pretty close. I drew a guy in a boat.
For 10 points, if you were to move permanently to a necropolis, where would your friends go to visit you?
Aisha from Countryside.
Cemetery.
That is a correct answer for 10 points.
Good.
Another math question for 10 points. Allowing 55 pounds to the bushel, what is the value of 2,200 pounds of potatoes valued at $1.18 a bushel?
Brady from Berrien Springs.
$23.60.
That is an incorrect answer.
Countryside, 5 seconds. We have Caleb from Countryside.
$15.
Incorrect. $47.20. For 15 points, males can weigh more than 500 pounds, stand 5 feet tall at the shoulder, and stretch 14 feet. Name this largest.
Aisha from Countryside.
Hippo?
Incorrect. And fiercest of cats.
Berrien Springs, you have 5 seconds. Callie from Berrien Springs.
A lion?
Incorrect. It's a Siberian tiger. For 10 points, what political phrase refers to those southern states that traditionally support the Democratic Party, its programs, and its candidates? The expression was popularized by Confederate General John Singleton Mosby during the Hayes-Tilden 1876 presidential election. Looking for the political phrase. The Solid South. Oh, another math question for 10 points. A student has earned scores of 87, 81, and 88 on the first 3 of 4 tests.
Can you say those 3 numbers again, Bill?
87, 81, and 88 on the first of 3 of 4 tests. What does he need to get on the 4th test to have an average of 87?
Brady from Berrien Springs.
89.
Incorrect.
Countryside, 5 seconds. Ooh, got in right under the buzzer. Aisha?
86.
92.
92.
For 20 points, Invictus was written during the author's 20-month stay in a tuberculosis hospital. William Ernest Henley wrote the poem. In broad terms, what is the message of Henley's Invictus?
Asher from Countryside.
To wash your hands.
Incorrect.
Okay.
Matthew from Berrien Springs.
Perseverance.
Yeah, maybe
No.
it's
No.
incorrect.
No.
What we're looking for is that man's spirit is unconquerable. For 5 points, Roger Maris's former home run record of 61 four-baggers in a season used to be marked with an asterisk in official record books. What was the reason for the asterisk?
Joe from Berrien Springs.
The possibility of steroids.
Incorrect.
Good guess, though. Time's up.
That was Barry Bonds. He played in a 162-game season instead of 154 when the records were set by Babe Ruth. For 10 points, what elemental gas is burned as a rocket fuel?
Brady from Berrien Springs.
Hydrazine.
That's incorrect.
Countryside, you want to give it a try? Caleb from Countryside.
Hydrogen.
That is correct for 10 points.
Hydrogen for 10.
For 10 points, under a decree by Zeus, he was forced to spend half of the year with Aphrodite and half with Persephone. He was eventually killed by a wild boar while on a hunting trip. Name this most handsome of Greek gods.
Asher from Countryside.
Hercules.
Incorrect.
Berrien Springs, you got 5 seconds. I think there's going to be a groan here. Callie from Berrien
Hades.
Springs. Hades.
Now, this was the one that I was named after. Adonis.
Oh.
About 2 minutes left.
Multiple choice question for 5 points. Which brain center controls vital reflexes such as heartbeat and breathing? The cerebrum, the cerebellum, or the medulla oblongata?
Brady from Berrien Springs.
Medulla oblongata.
That is correct for 5 points. For 15 points, for all of the elegance of his apparel, King Solomon, in the eyes of Jesus, was not as well dressed as what?
Callie from Berrien Springs.
The flowers.
More specific.
Flowers in the meadow.
Incorrect.
Caleb from Countryside.
Lilies.
That's a correct answer for 15 points. Lilies of the field. For 20 points, these lines are excerpted from what all-time pop hit from the Roaring '20s? One you all know. One leaf is sunshine, the second is rain. Third is the roses that grow in the lane. No need explaining.
You may have to explain, Bill.
I'm looking over a four-leaf clover. I'm sure you all sing that all the time.
Just under a minute.
For 15 points, which group broke the folk pop barrier with the hit Tom Dooley, but was unable to keep pace with the changing musical styles of the 60s?
Joe from Berrien Springs.
Is it the Monkees?
Incorrect.
Caleb from Countryside.
Beach Boys.
Correct. The Kingston Trio. See, they didn't keep track either.
All right.
That's it?
Yep, that's the end of the first half of today's academic challenge. We'll be back with the score and the 60-second round after this on WSJM, the news and talk of Michigan's Great Southwest.
You were definitely better.
Come over here.
Have you noticed though that whenever we pick the one we can sit easiest to us, it's always really hard. And then like we should do math just because it sounds so hard.
Arithmetic is like
That's
addition,
like
subtraction.
basic math.
We pick like arithmetic and find out it's like 2 plus 2, 1 plus 5, and
I'm good at guessing.
If it is.
We'll be able to get. We choose 5.
Yeah.
10 divided.
Yeah.
Wait, no, are we about to?
Whenever we pick it, I really think it looks
I don't know. I don't like the
Okay, Joe, you're going to be the team captain.
Oh, no, she is.
Oh, Callie's team captain. And Aisha, are you team captain again?
Yes.
Okay. All right, you guys ready for the 60-second round?
Yes.
Let's go ahead and do this. Okay, 60-second round in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the Academic Challenge on WSJM. At the end of the first half, the score is Countryside 35, Berrien Springs at 10. Now it's on to the 60-second round. Teams, you have 3 categories to choose from. We'll give you 60 seconds to answer as many of the 10 questions as you can. Each one is worth 10 points. And there will be a 20-point bonus if you can answer all 10 within that 60 seconds. You're encouraged to consult with one another at this point, but the answers have to come from the team captains. So after the minute is up, the opposing team will have a chance to answer any questions the first team could not answer. Berrien Springs, you're trailing at the moment, so you have first choice of these categories, which are vocabulary, poly, and arithmetic. So we have Joe as Callie as our team captain. What is your choice, please?
We are going to choose vocabulary.
Vocabulary. We will put 60 seconds on the timer. The 60 seconds will begin after Bill reads the first question.
There is a preclude here. Vocabulary is, I have a multiple choice vocabulary quiz. Okay, start with question 1.
Mhm.
Does caustic mean witty, original, bleeding, or sarcastic?
Woody.
Incorrect. Does cerulean mean green, red, blue, or orange?
Blue.
Correct. Does chide mean scold, praise, anger, or bounce?
Scold.
Correct. Does choleric mean diseased, red-faced, irascible, or uncertain?
Diseased.
Incorrect. Does circumspect mean indiscreet, observed, cautious, or uncertain?
Cautious.
Correct. Does clemency mean harshness, mercy, plant, or moisture?
Mercy.
Correct. Does cogitate mean stir up, drive, ponder, or bemuse?
Stirrup.
Incorrect. Does copious mean abundant?
Abundant.
Yes, correct. Does cotier mean small house, group, dressmaker, or party?
Dressmaker.
Incorrect. Does crass mean negligent, foolish, crude, or boastful?
Boastful.
Incorrect.
Okay. All right.
5.
So you got 5 out of the 10 correct. Now we'll move over to Countryside. And Aisha is going to be the team captain, so you have the opportunity to steal 5 questions for another 50 points then. And we will begin the 60-second round for you to steal the questions. And the timer will begin 60 seconds for you as soon as Bill reads the first question.
Okay, and I have a multiple choice vocabulary quiz. Does caustic mean witty, original, bleeding, or sarcastic?
Sarcastic.
Correct. Does choleric mean diseased, red-faced, irascible, or uncertain?
Red-faced.
Incorrect. Irascible. Does cogitate mean stir up, drive, ponder, or bemuse?
Ponder.
Correct. Does coterie mean small house, group, dressmaker, or party?
Party.
Incorrect. Group. Does crass mean negligent, foolish, crude, or boastful?
Negligent.
Crude. 2 points.
All right, so that gave you 20 points. So that's the first half of the 60-second round. Now we'll turn it over and continue on. Countryside, we have 2 remaining categories. Those 2 remaining categories are poly and arithmetic. And Aisha, which category would you like to choose?
Polly.
Poly it is. We'll put 60 seconds on the timer, and that 60 seconds will begin as soon as Bill reads the first question.
There's a prefix on this one.
Yep.
The following answers all use the prefix poly as a basis. A closed figure with 3 or more line segments.
Polygon.
Correct. A belief in many gods.
Polytheistic.
Correct. A compound of high molecular weight.
Pass.
An algebraic function.
Polynomial.
That's correct. A group of Pacific islands.
Pass.
The Cyclops blinded by Ulysses.
Polyphemus.
That's correct. A lie detector.
Polygraph.
Correct. The Greek muse of singing.
Pass.
A popular synthetic fiber.
Polyester.
Correct. Having more than one mate.
Polygamous.
That's correct. Compound of high molecular weight.
Polymetric.
Incorrect. A group of Pacific islands.
Okay, time is up. So you got 7, Countryside. Nice job on that. Berrien Springs, we have the opportunity for you to steal a quick 30 points if you can answer the 3 remaining questions. And we will begin as soon as Bill reads the first question, if you want to set it up.
I'll use the prefix poly as a basis. A compound of high molecular weight.
Polymolecular.
Incorrect. It's polymer. A group of Pacific islands.
Polynesia.
That's correct. The Greek muse of singing.
Polyphemus.
Close. Polyhymnia.
Okay, so you got 1 for 10 points. All right. That does end our 60-second round. We'll check the scores and conclude the game right here on WSJM, the news and talk of Michigan's Great Southwest. All right.
Wait, isn't there one after this? Or, no? Isn't it like another round after this?
Nope.
Nope.
Nope. We did one at 6, and then there's one at 7 here now. So this is the last one for the night.
Yeah, because we all turn into pumpkins at 8 o'clock.
7:45 for me.
Oh,
I'm already
sorry.
changing. Can you tell?
Well, it's better than the headless horseman.
Or the horseless headman.
Horseless head.
Have you seen that TV commercial for
Yes.
the
Yes,
horseless
So
head?
this is like the halftime show.
I like the Godzilla Snickers.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. Because I like Godzilla. I saw a Google image of that. I look up all
That?
things Godzilla.
I
It's
don't
so
think so.
cheesy, but I'm so addicted
I
to it.
think it's aluminum,
Yes, I own it.
It's not even that.
possibly plastic.
It's just plastic that has a nice.
It's my
Yeah,
second
the
favorite
polymer.
movie, Avengers: Age of Ultron. It just has to be.
We're getting
first.
another like. It just has to.
Kelly, do you have a little
get
bit to
more
talk
questions.
about your
We're
school?
getting more
Brady's gonna
questions.
read
Brady's going to do it? Okay.
It's like.
Is that what it was? Aisha, you have something to read then when you come back? Okay, we'll do that after the break.
Yeah, we're having a break.
Okay.
I have a good question.
All right, we'll continue on here.
We
You
are.
Waiting like any second to get started.
Well, we will.
guys ready?
Oh, I guess.
Enough
breaks.
Okay,
Somebody wanna switch in?
here we go. We're going to continue on with the second half, and this is the opportunity for me to introduce you and get to say a little bit about your school. So let's begin the second half in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the Academic Challenge on WSJM. The score at the end of the 62nd round is Countryside 125, Berrien Springs 70. It's now time to find out what's happening at each of our participating schools. Berrien Springs, we'll go to you, Brady. Tell us what's happening at Berrien Springs.
Greetings from Berrien Springs High School. The school year is well underway with exciting and new changes for our school. We would like to officially welcome Mr. Ryan Pesey as our new principal and welcome back Mr. Alan Alsborough as our assistant principal and athletic director. We also appreciate our 3 new math teachers, Mr. Brown, Mr. Eichberg, and Mrs. Gresham, and our new science teacher, Mrs. Clough. Fall sports are wrapping up, but we would like to wish our football team the best of luck in their home playoff game against Olivet High School this Friday. Congratulations to our boys tennis team for the run to the state championship. This is the second time in 3 years that the team has qualified for state. Cross country will continue their season at the regional competition at Red Bud Track in Buchanan on Saturday, October 31st. We would also like to congratulate the Berrien Springs Shamrock Marching Band on receiving the Award of Excellence in Marching, Music, Color Guard, and Percussion at the East Kentwood Marching Invitational last Saturday. On Thursday, October 29th, we will be holding our middle school band concert with the high school jazz band at the middle school beginning at 7 p.m. This Friday, October 30th, we will host the first annual Dare to Scare event. For $2, students are encouraged to wear Halloween costumes to show support of our after-school rocks and yearbook programs. We are looking forward to our annual Cultural Awareness Assembly, which will be held on Wednesday, November 25th. We encourage the community to attend. Preparations for our school play, Rogers and Hammerstein's Cinderella, are underway, and the show will be held in late November. We hope you and your family have a safe and happy Halloween. We would like to thank the Lake Michigan College, Lakeshore Public Schools, Berrien Springs Public Schools, and WSJM-FM 94.9 for sponsoring this event.
All right, thank you. Glad that you're here.
And glad you're a sponsor.
Yeah. Aisha, tell us what's going on at Countryside.
Good evening and hello from Countryside Academy. The school is alive with excitement as this week is not only Spirit Week, but also College Acceptance Week. The football and volleyball seasons are just wrapping up, just in time for basketball to begin. We would like to thank our sponsors and WSJM for hosting another season of Academic Challenge. And also, in the spirit of National Potato Day, potatoes are great.
National Potato Day.
Potato Day.
Do French fries count?
Yes.
Do they? Okay.
Potato.
That's good. Good.
Potato.
All right, real quick as we continue on. Best French fries. Where do you get the best French fries at? Wendy's.
McDonald's.
Wendy's, McDonald's,
Wendy's.
Wendy's,
Or homemade.
or homemade.
Yeah,
The
homemade's
bag's
pretty good,
Martin's.
actually.
You get a bag that says French fries.
There you go.
Put them in your oven.
The neon grill. But
I always like to get a little
Neon
feel
grill.
for what's going on.
They have good fries.
All right, let's begin the second half of the Academic Challenge between Berrien Springs and Countryside. We will put 10 minutes on the timer here, and we will begin the second half as soon as Bill reads the first question.
All right, we're going to start off with a 5-point question. The title character in Death of the Hired Man by Robert Frost poem had the same name as the title character in a William Dean Howells novel, and the albino in the Da Vinci Code, and the title character in a George Eliot novel. Identify the name.
Aisha from Countryside.
John.
Incorrect.
Brady from Berrien Springs.
Richard.
Silas. A math question for 20 points. The smallest whole number greater than 1 that is both a square and a cube is 64. What is the smallest whole number greater than 1 that is a square, cube, and a fourth power?
Aisha from Countryside.
Also 64?
Incorrect.
Berrien Springs. Anybody want to guess? Brady from Berrien Springs.
4,096.
That is correct for 20 points. For 5 points, in the early days of motion pictures, a popular place was a small theater where movies and entertainment could be seen for just 5 cents. What was it called?
Callie from Berrien Springs.
Vaudeville theater.
Incorrect.
Time's up. Yep, Bell came in first. So can before you answer it? So, well, how much did it cost?
5 points.
No. How much
5
did it cost to go to the
cents.
movie?
Oh, 5 cents.
5 cents. So does that help if you say 5 cents again? Think of what's another term for 5 cents?
Nickel.
Nickel.
Back.
Think of the TV. No, think of the
TV
kids
show.
TV. The kids TV network.
Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon.
That was what they called
Oh.
it.
Nickelodeon.
I was gonna get that
There you
wrong.
go. Good. That's where they got their name from.
That's pretty cool. Actually.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yep.
For 10 points, name the heroine of Rostand's romantic drama Cyrano de Bergerac.
Aisha from Countryside.
Mary.
Incorrect.
Who buzzed in? Joe from Berrien Springs.
Elizabeth.
Roxanne. For 20 points, quote, once the reading of the Bible had kept the American masses literate, but Hollywood had now usurped this important function, and its great bargain sale of 5 and 10 cent lusts and dreams was creating the new bottom level of our culture, end quote. What famous 20th century American novelist made this observation, commenting on the state of the motion picture industry?
Brady from Berrien Springs.
Ernest Hemingway.
Incorrect.
Aisha from Countryside.
Twain.
Incorrect. You probably might have, though. It was John Dos Passos. We've all heard of him.
Excellent.
For 5 points, here's a dirty question for you. The stables of King Aegeus held 3,000 oxen and had not been cleaned for 30 years. Who cleaned them?
Aisha, Countryside.
Wait, never mind. No.
Okay. Berrien Springs, 5 seconds. Callie from Berrien Springs.
Hercules.
That is correct for 5 points. One of the challenges was the dirtiest one. For 15 points, he recently announced that he will retire from full-time competition after the 2016 season. Name the 3-time NASCAR champion.
Callie from Berrien Springs.
Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Incorrect.
Time's up.
Recently involved in the death of another driver. Tony Stewart is the retiree.
Less than 5 minutes.
For 5 points, U.S. environmental regulators are sending a letter to all car manufacturers serving notice that they are increasing emissions testing in response to one company's violations of pollution laws.
Callie from Berrien Springs.
Volkswagen.
That's correct for 5 points. For 10 points, he has asked the Department of Homeland Security Secretary for additional law enforcement help to manage the large influx of people crossing the Mexican border. We're talking about Greg Abbott, the governor of which state?
Joe from Berrien Springs.
Arizona.
Incorrect.
Aisha, Countryside.
Virginia.
Incorrect. Texas.
I was going to say Texas.
There's only 48 more
Yeah,
states
there's
we could have.
only 2 that cover or 3 that cover the border, though. For 5 points, the Digital Crown helps you to browse through this item without masking the display. The activity and workout apps were specifically designed for it. Name this product released this year, which comes in standard, sport, and 18-karat gold versions.
Joe from Berrien Springs.
The Apple Watch.
That's correct for 5 points. For 5 points, what company offers the Gear smartwatch?
Joe, Berrien Springs.
Samsung.
That's correct. 5 points. For 15 points, for the first time in a century, what pro team has an official mascot? A bear named Clark.
Callie from Berrien Springs.
The Chicago Bears.
Incorrect.
Countryside, 5 seconds. Caleb from Countryside.
Cubs.
That's correct. For 15 points. Clark and Addison is where they play. For 15 points, a new study published in the journal Science proposes a compromise in which both were responsible for the great dinosaur extinction that occurred about 65 million years ago. Name the two causes.
Caleb from Countryside.
An asteroid and human stupidity.
Incorrect.
Oh.
Brady from Berrien Springs.
A meteorite and climate change.
Incorrect. It was volcanic eruptions and asteroids, and there weren't any people around then, so it couldn't be human. For 20 points, according to the anti-gun Brady campaign, this state has the most lenient gun laws in America.
Joe from Berrien Springs.
Texas.
Incorrect. Ironically, it also ranks among the states with the lowest violent crime rate. What state is it?
Aisha from Countryside.
Alaska.
No, Utah. For 20 points, there were both cheers and protests when this national chain opens its first outlet in Manhattan. The protesters included animal rights activists and gay organizations.
Joe from Berrien Springs.
Chick-fil-A.
That is correct for 20 points.
Less than 2 minutes.
For 20 points, with Secretary of Education Arnie Duncan stepping down, Tom Vilsack is the only remaining member of President Obama's original cabinet. He heads what department?
Joe from Berrien Springs.
Homeland Security.
Incorrect.
Caleb from Countryside.
Department of State.
Incorrect. Agriculture. For 15 points, it is shaped like a pear, cut in half lengthwise. It is a musical instrument probably copied from the lute.
Joe from Berrien Springs.
The oud.
Incorrect. A much older instrument. What is it?
Caleb from Countryside.
Lear.
It's a mandolin. For 10 points, in which state of the USA would you expect to find the world's largest garbage dump?
Aisha from Countryside.
New York.
Absolutely. The Mets. Yes, New York, Staten Island. Yeah. That's correct for 10 points. For 5 points, a substance which, when dissolved in water, will conduct electricity is called what?
Matthew from Berrien Springs.
Electrolyte.
That's correct for 5 points. For 5 points, the original one was a fortress. Later, it became one of the largest palaces in the world, a residence of the King of France. Now, of course, it is the National Art Museum of France. Name it.
Joe from Berrien Springs.
The Louvre.
That's correct for 5 points. For 10 points, an open invitation to participate in his inauguration celebration at the White House was issued by the new president to all of the people. Many of them came, broke china, tore the draperies, and made general shambles of the place. The crowd grew so large and unruly that the president had to jump out the back window.
Brady from Berrien Springs.
Andrew Jackson.
That is correct for 10 points.
And that's it. So that does it. That's the end of today's academic challenge match. We'll tabulate the scores and announce the winners after this on WSJM, the news and talk of Michigan's Great Southwest.
Good job, guys. Good game.
The entire thing or the second half?
Wow.
I was gonna guess.
Wow. A heck of a good game.
Joe.
Or maybe we were just thinking better.
Nice game. I didn't know math questions.
Let's go shake
Do we wrap this thing up? Have a seat here. Just hang out for just a minute. I got to do my quick wrap up. Joe, hang tight for just a second, would you, please? That's right. Let me do the wrap up and then we'll finish up. Yeah, that's okay. That's cool. All right, we'll do the wrap up here to the show and announce the score here. So We're going to do the wrap-up in 3, 2, 1. We're back on WSJM's Academic Challenge to announce today's winners and thank our sponsors. The winners today, by a score of 150 to 145, congratulations to Berrien Springs.
What a great game. What a great game. You guys were back and forth. It was wonderful.
That was cool.
Thank you for joining us on WSJM's Academic Challenge, brought to you by Lakeshore Public Schools, Lake Michigan College, and Berrien Springs Public Schools. Join us again next week at the same time as Coloma and St. Joe go head-to-head on Academic Challenge.
I was doing a running tally. I came out with 150, 150. Because it was 125 to 70 going into the final round, correct?
Okay, well, I've...
It's just a game.
Overtime.
Just so you know, that's what I came up with.
You had it as a tie as well? Yeah.
Did we wrap it up as a tie?
That last question was the tie. Yeah.
The tiebreaker?
It ties the match, yeah.
You guys got a 15-point and a 10-point in the second round.
Correct,
right?
yes.
Let me go ahead and stop.
Yeah, because I keep track also here, so I can tell you which